Rightio folks, here at the Hobart versus Lindisfarne game, the final round of the SFL. The Hobart boys are just running out, ready to go. It is a must-win game for Hobart today if they are to play finals in 2018. Out it comes, Sullivan now with some space, delivers long. Reeves coming out to meet the footy, hit Martin hard. Now a chance over the back, running down there was Hadfield with a quick dribbler forward. And that's the start the Tigers wanted. They are on the board with 1 minute and 30 seconds gone in the first term. Trying to get it out was Dykes. Charlton now, handballs over the top. They've got time and space here, spinning out of trouble. That was Lind who got it forward. Now Reeves with space. They're playing a long, wide open forward line, going back with the flight here. Here's a chance as it bounces into his arms. It can't. Yates off the ground. A ripping goal here for the Tigers, and they are up and about. Called all clear. 6 points again, and Yates kicks a beauty. Ball up back in the middle. Ruck contest won down by the big man Dykes. Playing advantage here, Sullivan with time and space goes long in the Reeves direction. Kicks a goal! 3 in a row for the Tigers. Welcome to the map. I'm Tubes Taylor. It was a furious start up there at the TCA. We're back in the studio, and of course I'm joined by Aaron Roberts. Welcome.
G'day,
Peach.
Tubes. Gee, the Super Saturday was tough, wasn't it?
It was huge, and we're of course joined by Nathan Duggan, Bluey from the Sygnet Port Footy Club. Thanks for coming in, mate.
Thanks for having me.
We will get to your game shortly, but it was massive by Lindisfarne up there at the TCA, Peach.
Yeah, it was. Well, the first 5 minutes was all Hobart, wasn't it? Sullivan's goal, 3 in 4.5 minutes. And they were absolutely flying. And you probably thought, because you were at that game and I was down at Sygnet, you must have thought, gee, Hobart are a chance here.
Well, it was the game for them that was essentially their elimination final. If they won that, they played finals. If they lost, like they did, they were out. That was their season done. So when they came out in the first 5 minutes and were going flat out, I thought, gee, we're on for a contest here.
And I think they were really confident. Their leadership team and Mark Beck, I think, were pretty confident they could compete against Lindisfarne. They rate themselves Hobart's midfield, and they would have been devastated at quarter time. Yeah. 7 goals to zip in, 8 minutes, 12 minutes?
It was crazy. We'll have a quick look now at the Lindisfarne first quarter. It was just real arm wrestle there for the first probably 12 minutes, and then Lindisfarne just started doing this sort of stuff. Contested marks to the big man down there. As a party, just copped a little...
Not really tall enough, is he, to go with Cassidy?
He's got the do going there as a party, but Cassidy just came in. I think he kicked 2 or 3 in the first quarter and ended up with quite a few. I think he kicked 8 or 9. Yeah, and same thing here.
Did they have a match up with him besides Liam, who was obviously running around? They didn't really have another sort of more stronger matchup potentially.
We'll talk to Nathan about that in a few moments, because he's just a huge unit. As you can see, 5 Tigers around him there, and then old mate Blackburn just comes in and takes a nice contested grab down there in the forward pocket and kicks an absolute ripper from pretty tough spot to kick a goal up at the TCA with a wind blowing across you there, but they were unbelievable. And there was a 6-minute spot in the first term where there were no goals scored whatsoever. So it was 3 quick ones to Hobart, 6 minutes of nothing.
So they neutralised it at Hobart or Lindisfarne?
I think Lindisfarne, and then they just arm wrestled the game back into their way of playing. And as we see the boys just coming off here, I think that potentially they are the premiership favourites.
No, they're not potentially, Tubes, no doubt.
Oh, they definitely are. Nathan, what are your thoughts on Lindisfarne?
Oh yeah, they've been the standout team for probably the second half of the season, and you can't deny that they're playing some pretty good footy. We obviously played them a couple of weeks ago, and they a slick unit. So yeah, they've got to be the favourites, I think. You
play down back, mate.
Yep.
What's it like when you have big Michael Cassidy running from behind you or around your area? Is it? I mean, he's a big unit and he's a great player.
Yeah, he's a big boy, that's for sure. And I saw him in full flight at Snug earlier in the year. He kicked another bag of 9 or 10 or something and just marked everything that came his way. But yeah, he's definitely a force to be reckoned with. And if he gets hot in the finals, then Lindisfarne are going to look very, very dangerous, that's for sure.
It's not so much Cassidy, it's more the ball movement. Yeah. You talked a few weeks ago, and the players are uncontested ball movement through the middle, then kicking forward becomes a challenge. Do you think you can match up on a team like Lindisfarne's midfield now? You've definitely made finals.
Yeah, well, obviously playing them a couple of weeks ago, we identified that we probably got stuck to the ball a bit too much on the end. They carved us up on the outside, and as you said, I play down back, and no defence can back six can control their forwards if the ball movement's coming without any pressure. So that happened a little bit, definitely in the first time, and a little bit in the second meeting. We fixed it in the second half and probably broke even. But when the ball was coming in as it was early in the first half, it's very hard to defend.
Mickey Paul said when Huonville beat Lindisfarne at Anzac Park, they got sucked in early. Exactly the same thing. Huonville got sucked in early. And then once Huonville worked out that how to work the ball on the outside and spread a bit more, suddenly the game opened up and actually beat Lindisfarne on the outside.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the key. I think if you can, obviously next time around, if we get to play them again, which will mean we go pretty deep in the finals, which will be nice. If we get to play them again, then I think we'll be hopefully ready from the word go with that, and we can hopefully give them a bit of a shake. And yeah. But we'll see how we go.
Peach, some other results from the SFL last round.
Yeah, so Dodgers Ferry, Huonville. So this is a massive game. Dodgers Ferry led for 99.999% of the game. Huonville, in the last dying second, somehow won. Now, I called this one that it would be, it looked 5 goals to nothing in the first quarter, so it was pretty impressive. At no stage did Huonville lead until that last sort of 60 seconds. So that gives Huonville third spots. That's massive. Hobart and Lindisfarne, as we mentioned, 120 plus points. That's horrible. Yeah. Claremont... I should say, Sygnet and New Norfolk. That was a game that we saw down the map down at Sygnet. That was a terrific game for most. We'll chat a little bit more about that. And the final game was Claremont. Just ended Brighton's season and cemented Claremont in second spot. Yeah, so finals coming up. Of course, you were down there at Sygnet, down there at a beautiful lush ground, and we're going to have a look at some vision that was taken from down there with you on the B team. I'm calling it the B team because Duff and I on the A team, but here we go. Still a chance. The back of my ute, and that was raining at one stage. The cameraman Jero was holding the umbrella, and I was trying to get the rain come off my paper.
Very interesting stuff here, because I think this is the first time we've ever recorded a 100-metre penalty. Holton comes in here, Nathan.
That was actually Cohen, and then he gets...
So there was already 50, and then there's someone talking here, and then I thought someone was... Clifford's been sent off there. Now there's another 50. So that gets him about 2/3 away up the ground. And then there's still some chirp happening, and then there's another 50.
What happened there, mate?
I don't...
You weren't involved at all, Nathan,
I kind of was at the start, and then they just must have kept talking, and the umpires just... obviously must have tried to cut it out early, and it gave them a bit of a penalty.
The umpire did make his intentions very clear early. He didn't want any chirp back and any sort of lip back from the players. He actually, you could hear it from the boundary line that he was saying that. So I think the players all knew that, but it was a pretty heated game. Did you expect New Norfolk, Nathan, to be this competitive considering their season was over for the last fortnight?
They're obviously a pretty proud club, obviously a very successful club, so we knew they were going to come out and have a crack. We were confident that late in the game they wouldn't have as much to play for, and we'd have the run and we'd have the passion to
on cue, he gets a kick here, and then Toby Cohen under a hell of a lot of pressure there, but he was good enough to run it up. This is a great goal here by Big Doreen coming up. How much has his game improved over the last couple of weeks?
Oh, well, this year in general, obviously he has leaps and bounds of improvement from Big Joe, and he's a when we can put him forward and then try and stretch the defence with him and Holt. This is a bit of a cheeky celebration here. And
there's 3 people on the other side of the fence clapping very politely. I don't know if they knew him.
And you can chuck him in the ruck, and he's beautiful around the ground. So he's certainly a key to our team, and I think people have even said he's a chance for our best and fairest, and he's only 19 or 20. So bucket loads of talent.
And he was in the ruck quite a bit, and I reckon he won 80% of the ruck contest. Didn't always get it to one of your guys, because I think New Norfolk sharked him pretty effectively. Actually, it's probably an area that could be developed from the midfield. I'm sure that when this vision goes out, Cato will be looking at it to see how that can be improved. But he was outstanding in the ruck and competed really well.
Yeah, he was awesome in the second half.
One person I want to touch on as well in your footy side is Elijah Reardon.
Yeah.
Tell us about him, mate.
Yeah, Eli's come on a lot since probably the last 2 years. Before that, he was playing like level Div 2 football kind of thing, and he's come on since last year, probably the year before, and obviously this year he's just a barometer up forward, and he just kicked a couple of goals from outside 50, and they were amazing goals. But he's a very confident player. When he gets a bit of confidence up and the boys get around him, he's an unreal player to watch. And we were actually in a bit of trouble there. I think he might have been up at just before half time, and he kicked 2 goals just like that. And
he kicked one awesome snap. He got it off Liam O'Neill, and he smashed his way through and kicked one in the right forward pocket. Yeah. He was great. The other one that really impressed me was Jackson Gordon.
Yeah, pasty. Yeah,
I haven't seen a lot of him, but he was really good all day.
Yeah, no, he's another one of the young blokes on our side, and he was tremendous down back.
He's a local lad too, isn't he?
Yeah. He's from the other side of the river, but he's a local boy. So
on the other side of the river, what, Franklin or something?
Commandy, yeah.
Ooh, I say, is he one of the players that's sort of been around there and's come up to the club, sort of through?
He's come up through the juniors with me, so I've played with him since under 13. So he's when Cygnet Commandy joined, he's been there since then. So yeah.
Interesting point, mate, about you. You're studying teaching up in Launceston. You drive down every week to play footy. You've been training with North Launceston up there in the TSL.
Yep.
That's dedication to your footy club, mate. Why do you do it? Why are you dedicated to the Port?
Obviously, it's nice playing with, like I said, Jackson and other boys that I've grown up playing footy with, and it's just such a brilliant club. And I'll obviously go down there tonight and probably get ripped into about this and whatnot. But it's a bloody awesome club. And you think about leaving because of travelling, and then you think, no, you just can't leave a club that you want to play 200 plus games for. So awesome
it's
club.
Passion like that, mate, that we love here in the Southern Football League. Bluey, we're going to leave it there, mate. But we've checked, because you do actually qualify.
Get his ID out.
We do actually qualify for the Colts this year as well. So if they go deep into finals, you can drop back and play Colts. Is that correct?
I think so.
Allegedly.
We'll see how we go.
Now we do need to just shout out to Furphy, because this is your 6-pack, but it is a little broken one already. It's not filled up with water, but that's for you, mate. Thanks so much for joining us here on the map.
Thanks
Good on you, mate. Well done. All right, to take us out, it is highlights from the fourth quarter down at Sygnet with our commentator, Aaron Peachy Roberts.
And this game, as Palmer comes through, just handballs to no one in particular. It doesn't matter, because he might get it back again. Palmer drills towards goal. Palmer has kicked a huge goal for the Port. They're up by 17 points. And the horns go around Cygnet Oval. And the bugle starts to have its play as the rain comes down, maybe on the end of the season here for New Norfolk. And Silly Sunday is only hours away. 17-point lead, and maybe it means Sygnet will be playing an elimination final next week. Well, we love it here on the map. We're in the outer. It's about 6 degrees. G-Funk Martindale on the camera holding an umbrella, trying to film a game of football. We would have gone up to the grandstand, but there's that much hooligan and yelling and abuse over there. We decided we'd get on the wing here. Looked like a good decision when it wasn't raining and the sun was shining. Barreled forward. That's a clever mark. It's a 17-point lead for Sygnet midway through the last quarter here. It's elimination final a week early in the Southern Football League on Super Saturday. Dragged down, the crowd love it. There's a bit of push, there's a bit of shoving, and we expected that as soon as New Norfolk's season potentially looks like it might be expiring without a victory, they may just start to get a little bit rancy here and push and shove. Throw up here, centre wing. Burgess trying to get front position. He can't. Beautiful pick up. Kick goes forward. That's Holton. Doreen just gets bumped off it at the last minute. Bucks dropped. Just needed to hold on to it. Look out. It's Ford again. He kicks his second goal of the second half. A huge goal. A critical goal for Sygnet. So Reardon now from 35. And he's got it. Elimination final time for the Port. They're home here on Super Saturday. Nelson goes in again. Picked up by O'Neill. Just slaps the ball forward. But it's turned over as the ball's hacked forward now this occasion by New Norfolk. Lovell turns around onto his right, shrugs off one, gets to 45 metres. So have we got a twist? Have we got a twist in the tail? As Lovell kicks 2 goals in the space of only about 45 seconds in the Battle of the Valley. And there it is. Sygnet are through to next week's finals. They've done their job. They've won the game here, 15-15, 105 to 13-9, 87 in a swinging, seesawing, classic game of finals style football.
Thanks, of course, to our sponsor, Jackson Motor Company. Now, Peach, they've got another special. It's coming up right here, down the bottom there. Jackson Motor Company have got a 2013 Holden Colorado crew cab for $26,990. That's a bargain.
Crew cab. You're excited by a crew cab. Just is that where is it? I can't. Yeah. Oh, there it is. Yep.
There it is. So go out and see the guys at Jackson Motor Company if you're interested in this week's special. Of course, coming up in the final series, the first week of finals for the SFL.
Yeah, it's really going to set up. So Lindisfarne obviously have the bye, so they have a week off. So they kind of had the week off for half the game last week too. So at the TCA ground,
they were there and they were on.
Yeah, Sygnet thought they were playing Huonville even at the end of the game. We all thought they were playing Huonville, but they've actually got Dodgers Ferry at Shark Park. It's 1-1 this season. The two teams did match up at Shark Park, and that was won fairly comfortably by Dodgers Ferry by, actually it was 19 points last time the two teams played at Shark Park. And the other final was Claremont and Huonville. This is a matchup which was last time these two teams played was 3 points by Claremont over Huonville. That was in Huonville, and the other time Claremont played, they won by 8 points. So these two teams look really close throughout the season.
And that's at Abbotsford Park.
That's at Abbotsford Park.
And in the reserves, Claremont take on Lindisfarne, Hobart take on Dodgers Ferry, and then the Colts, we've got the Southern Storm and Lindisfarne.
That'd be a good game.
Yeah, and Hobart and Sorell. For the SFLW, the first week of finals in the Women's League, it's Lauderdale taking on North Hobart, and of course the Suns take on Claremont. So, well, the Suns are a very, very good club. Lindisfarne have the bye in the Lady Blues. So that's the finals coming up for SFLW. Now, Old Scholars Football Association.
It was a whole other season left, isn't there? In Old Scholars, It goes forever. There's
a lot of games to go. I think there's 3 more matches for the season. We were out at Richmond taking on OHA out there, but a couple of results to go through beforehand before we get to the footage. University lost to Dosa, so Dosa climbed up above University on the ladder, so that's a great result for them. And St Virgil's, the first win in 3 years for the guys out there at the Saints. And look at them, don't they love it? There's the wallet wizard at the front, our man. Matty Tyrrell as well. Yeah. Gill's in there. There's a caveman in the back middle. Yeah. Look at him. Andy Mann's up there. Paddy Midson, who's injured, unfortunately. But how good is it that they've finally got something to be happy about out there at the Saints?
And I saw a little clip on social media. One of the old ex-players was on the bar somewhere. I don't know, it was actually their sponsor, the Markles, or in the club rooms. Let's sing the song one more time, lads. It's been 3.5 years. Let's sing the song. And they were nearly gone 2 years ago. So it's a big journey.
And it's something for them to build upon and reward for the hard work that they've put in to make sure that club survives. So terrific news out there at the St Virgil Saints. Well done to those boys out there. Now, the game down at Richmond.
It was a big game.
It was a huge game. It was top 2 basically playing off to secure top spot. And Martin Duffy took the Duffmobile down there to Richmond. And Alex Gilmore looked around, saw the Duffmobile, and then flicked the switch. And he went bang, bang, bang and started kicking goals aplenty. And we've got some footage coming up now. Here we go. This one's a beautiful mark here to Gilmore with a clever kick in. But have a look at this, just the one grab.
And it stayed in the air for a while too. Look, it floated and floated, and terrific. I love it. This is classic Rat Gilmore finish. Just strolls around, pops it over his body.
Yeah, not much Cody Baker can do there when a bloke's taking a horizontal mark. And there's one of my favourite players as well with him.
Yeah, Adams.
Of course, Adams down there.
But this is a bit like what Richmond have done a few times. I saw them against Dosa and OHA here as well previously. Games are tight, and Richmond blow teams away in the last quarter, and that's always a good sign of a really good team and a confident team.
Morrison was very good down forward, and that was a great goal to Dane Bailey. They love him down there, Dane Bailey. But Duff thinks that these guys, Richmond, are the absolute favourites. A walk in the park, he's saying here, just off screen, and they are very fit and they're very, very good. And this is Phillips.
This is a ripper golf. Yeah.
Gilmore gets his toes on it.
Did he get his toe to it? Anyway, Brody.
Might have got the stops Phillips on it. Gilmore put his fingers up like he kicked it. But I don't know. I think OHA, I think Dosa, and I think University. Anyone can win it.
So all the teams are top 4 then. Just honestly, make a decision, Tubes.
I can't. When Gilmore's taking marks like that.
He's fit now. He had about 5 weeks where he had obviously a problem. He had
punctured lungs
and some broken ribs. So he's obviously running really well now. They've got some good. They've just got really good. They've got good ball movers. I would say on their day, Richmond have got the best game style. They make the best. They've got the best decision makers. But I don't think they're that much better than teams like Dosa and OHA necessarily on. And remember, these teams all play on a neutral ground or grand final. There's no advantage on grand final day. So they do play at North Hobart Oval, which I think is kind of cool and unique.
Very interestingly, at the end of the game, Coach Brodie Langford had the boys in for a long, long time out there, and Duff zoomed in and got the wingnut Callanan having a very stern talking to the boys. So Ian Callanan is a jet.
Well, he knows how to win premierships. He won a few with Central, so in the SANFL. So he knows, and with Clarence as well. He won one with Clarence. So
so he would have been having a few words to them about how the standards are, because they've just seen potentially the favourite for the flag, the Richmond Blues, out there at their home ground, and they know what they've got to do to get across the line. So it's a very interesting top four.
Well, everyone's kind of slipped up the last 3 weeks besides Richmond. They're the only team that's been relatively consistent. They had a close win last week against University at University. And they lost a month before then. But they've been the only consistent team. Everyone else sort of wins and then loses the following week. It's a real tops and turvy type sort of competition.
So coming up in round 17 for the Old Scholars, it's OHA over University at Gilston Bay. I'm going to tip OHA easily probably there. Hutchins and Richmond. Well, Hutchins have put the cue in the rack as far as I'm concerned. I don't know what happened out there.
They're waiting for Silly Sunday already, are they?
Yeah, I don't know what happened out there against the Saints.
Last time Hutchins played St Virgil's, it was St Virgil's up by 4 goals at three-quarter time then, so maybe they just match up well against Hutchins. And
Dosa have St Virgil's, who will be up and about after their win last week. I got a lot of text messages from St Virgil's boys on Saturday night with pictures of them drinking beer, and it was late. It was late into the night, so they were celebrating hard. Now, so, Peach, next week we're heading out to the TCA to see the game between the Dosa Roosters and St Virgil's, and in the SFL?
SFL, it's going to be the qualifying final at Abbotsfield, so it's Claremont versus Huonville, and this will be a cracking match. And I'll give Huonville a chance with Mickey Paul back.
Well, that's the whispers. Mickey Paul may be back. I know that he's been at some
You need to do some
festival.
sneaking around,
Mickey Paul's been at a festival over in Europe, so I'm not sure how close he is.
Was that always planned at all, or was it because the injury helped him out?
Don't know. No mail there. And we're also going down to Shark Park to see the SFLW women's finals down there on the Sunday. Now, to take us out, Peach, this is the end of the map, folks, but we always finish up with a Furphy Play of the Day. That's coming up next. Thanks so much for joining us again, Peach.
Fantastic, mate.
My name's Tubes Taylor. Until next time, we'll see you here on the map.
And as is the case in the Southern Footy League, we have very short goalposts, nearly at every regional ground. And these aren't a little bit longer than the ones that used to be near Norfolk, which I reckon are about 8 metres high. O'Neill tries to get on that one. Reardon nearly gets a bubble. O'Neill comes through, gets tackled, gets once, gets it out. Elijah Reardon runs onto his right. Elijah Reardon snaps. Has he kicked the blinder? He has. And the crowd over on the far wing get a little bit excited, and that could be a Furphy Play of the Day right there. Elijah Reardon getting the response and gets the Sygnet boys back up. It's a cliffhanger. We've got the match of the day here. There's plenty of happening. Well, you know, when the sound of the bugle starts happening, that must have been an indication